Welcome, everyone. My name is DeWitt. My two friends are.
Hello, my name is Karnig Castle.
Hello, I'm Ryan Nicholas Gray. Welcome to Community Corner. Welcome.
Today our guest is Michael Barber, who is a friend. My friend, actually. He is working with the agency Community Living Service, utilizes his talents in graphics and business. He is going to be supporting those with disabilities that have dreams to develop and work at a business. These types of businesses are called micro enterprise. Since I have my own DJ business called Dazzle Do Time, he has become a part of my helping team. He has lots of great experience to share with us today and our viewing audience. Welcome, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the show, Michael. Welcome.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself and tell us about growing up.
Well, like you said, my name is Michael Barber, and I'm a microenterprise developer. I haven't always been one. At one time, I was just a student. And of course, growing up, I went through high school and got some interest in counseling. It seemed like people liked to talk to me when I was growing up, tell me about stuff that was going on in their lives, and so I decided to go to college for counseling.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Did you have any jobs in high school?
Yeah, I did. I had a few jobs. My first job, I worked in a restaurant in Lapeer. I grew up in Lapeer, Michigan, and there's a restaurant called the Lake Inn there where I worked washing dishes and you know, cleaning up the kitchen, and really hard, dirty job, really.
Yeah.
Not my favorite one.
Were these like CPI jobs, or did you actually get paid for it?
Nope, I got paid.
Sweet.
Back then, I probably got paid like, I don't know, $3.75 an hour or something. It was probably 1992 or something, and the minimum wage was really low back then.
Okay, I wish I got paid for my jobs in high school.
Really, Aaron? Really?
Yeah.
I know. So, Michael,
Who wouldn't?
so tell us about your family now.
Well, I'm a father and a husband. I have 3 sons.
3 sons?
Yep, Ethan, Isaac, and Avery. One is in 5th grade, and he's a dancer.
A dancer?
Yeah, he's a hip-hop dancer. He's really a talented guy.
Oh.
And my middle son, he is really smart in things like ecology and environmental sciences and animals. And then my youngest, he wants to be a dancer too. He's got moves.
Cool.
Did you attend college? And if so, what field of study?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, I went to college for counseling and psychology, and I attended Rochester College, which is in Rochester, Michigan. It's over by Oakland University.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, of course, you know. You work over there too.
Yeah,
Busy guy.
thanks.
What was the first job you ever had?
My first job,
Yeah.
I think it might have been, well, it was in the restaurant business again. I think it was Burger King.
Burger King?
Yeah, I worked at Burger King and at the Lake Inn. Those were some of my first jobs.
Yummy.
Burger King. I love Burger King. I love Burger King.
Flame broiled.
Emerald. Have it your way.
Bad for your intestines.
Bad for your intestines?
Yeah, good for you.
Well, I guess so.
So what types of jobs have you had since school?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I've had a lot of jobs. People that know me know that I've had a lot of jobs. It's not really something that prospective employers like to hear, how many jobs that you've had, but I've had a lot. I've worked in kitchens. I've worked on construction sites. I have done artwork, freelance art, doing social work, and those are some probably the highlights over my past almost 20 years of being out of high school.
Do you ever volunteer?
Yeah, I used to be really active when I lived closer to Pontiac. I used to take a lot of kids down to downtown Pontiac to work with the homeless there. We would take a lot of, dry, clean socks and blankets and water and things like that down and spend time with people. And there's some folks that we were able to help more than others, but we definitely probably helped see some people through cold, wet nights.
Because I volunteer at Great Falls Pub in Pontiac. I volunteer there, I do.
It's a great organization. They do great work.
I love it.
Hey guys, you will love the story. Here's my question. Did you get a job at Oakland University as a custodian?
Yeah, I worked at Oakland University as a custodian for a total of 8 years, but at 2 different times. In 2000, I hired in as a custodian. After a really fun interview, my supervisor, who would become my supervisor, was a great lady. Her name's Wendy, and she took me around the campus and figured out what equipment I could or couldn't run, because I had some experience working at University of Michigan in Flint as a custodian while I was in college. So I used that experience and told them, hey, I want this job here. And she said, well, it looks like you know what you're doing, but we usually like to hire people as a temp first, hire you as a temporary employee, and then see what's happening after 90 days. So I said, okay, that's fine. I said, but I'm going to tell you what. If you do that, you'll regret not hiring me full-time in 2 weeks. So we parted ways. I didn't really know if I'd hear from her at all, but I got the phone call that I got hired as a full-time employee.
Oh, good.
But, that's the kind of boldness that I've kind of been signature of me over the years, and I try to help the business owners I work with to have as well.
That's a good story.
Oh, you really? You're a janitor? I can't believe that. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yes, he told me.
That's a pretty good story.
Well, they pay pretty well over there. The benefits are good. I have a lot of great friends that are still custodians over there.
Yeah.
They've had some rough times. They had took a major pay cut over there, but they're working hard to try to prove that they have greater value and make some more money. I had to leave because I couldn't afford the pay cut with the size of my family, but now that's why I'm doing my own thing.
And pay cuts are never good. Did this job take any special training?
Well, I had some on-the-job training when I worked in college as a custodian at University of Michigan Flint. And so I didn't have to have any specialized outside training. I was fortunate to have some people at University of Michigan take a chance on me, and they taught me how to run the machines. And over the course of a year, I had built up enough skills to where Oakland thought I was hireable as well. So I was fortunate that way. It definitely, Oakland University helped me pay for the college tuition at Rochester. So, like I said, a lot of great benefits there. Helped me get through school.
Cool.
And the Oakland University Rochester College. So what other types of job training have you had over the years?
Well, I guess some of the work that is more related to what I'm doing now is I was a printer for my father-in-law when I met my my wife. She was, 20 years old at the time, and we ran into each other all the time in Clarkson for some reason. And so I finally asked her to coffee, and then turns out her father-in-law had a printing business, and I started printing with him and started learning graphic design because he put a Macintosh computer in our house, and I started playing with design software, and taught myself how to do graphic design, and so I've worked as a freelance artist and a freelance graphic artist since like 2001.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the stuff I love to do, and it's probably the biggest thing I bring to the table right now is my marketing and graphic design skills for the people that I'm working with now.
All right.
Cool.
Does this work need to be on the road plus driving?
Yeah, right now this work definitely requires a lot of driving because I have to drive from each business owner's house or meet them in the community maybe, and so I have to drive from place to place because I have to meet with them, one-on-one. We have only face-to-face mentoring and training time.
Does this work need to be done in the office or at home?
Well, it's a combination.
Combination?
I actually have to do a lot of work at home, doing research on maybe different services that might exist to help my business owners try to manage their business, or maybe how to strategize about their marketing or how they're going to go about creating more opportunities to do whatever they do.
So, Mike, sir, what is your background working with those with disabilities?
I started working with people with disabilities when I started working at Wolverine Human Services in Detroit in 2005. And not all of the people I worked with had developmental disabilities necessarily, but they usually had different disabilities that required me to have the training necessary to work with youth who have had troubled childhoods.
Wow.
Now, I'd say my experience was really made more of a career path when I started working for CLS. That's when I realized that I preferred working with people with disabilities versus with adjudicated youth or youth who are usually in trouble in the system somehow.
What led you to a change in jobs?
Well, I never was really happy with what I was doing. It never really fulfilled the creative side of me. I always wanted to do something where I was more involved in generating ideas, helping people with business. Those were some of my more natural interests, but I had never pursued them as a professional. So I started to realize that I wasn't doing what I should be doing, what made me happy, and I had to take kind of a big jump to do it. But I'm excited about the work I'm doing now. It makes a big difference too.
Tell us about this new work and how long it will be.
Oh, well, right now I'm in a pilot program, and it's 6 months. All my referrals are coming from Community Living Services of Oakland County, so I'm working exclusively with Oakland County residents with disabilities who are trying to run their own business. They're going to give me 6 months to, achieve the business owner's goals. And so that's one of the first things I do in the interview process is try to find out what the goals are and see if we can create goals that are in a 6-month time frame, and we go for those first. And if the pilot is granted, an indefinite status of support for the people that CLS supports, then I'll get to work with my business owners for as long as they need me to.
Pilot?
Yeah, a pilot program means you get like an initial run. It says, hey, if this does well over this period of time, then we'll make it a full-blown, kind of like on TV, you have like the pilot episode, and if it does good, then they'll do a whole season or something on it.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's like that, only with the program.
Okay. I get how.
Yeah.
I might get how it's done now.
So, Mike, tell us about your journey going back to a CLS.
Oh, well, I'm trying to think. 2005, I graduated from college. I went to Wolverine Human Services, worked there a while, realized it wasn't for me. And then for a few years, I didn't really work in the social work field at all. Until I met a friend. She's an ISC, an independent sports coordinator at CLS. It's my wife's best friend, and she said, hey, you know what, I think you'd be really great. You have the qualifications. Why don't you check it out? So I got in touch with people over at Community Living Services. They interviewed me, said I was qualified, and I was very interested in the work they were doing. I was really a big fan of self-determination. That was one of the things that really won me over, because I feel like people should have choice. People should have freedom of choice to determine their own futures, and that really won me over right there. And that's how I started working with people with disabilities.
That association was touching. That shows the real gentleman you are.
Thanks, thank you.
And Ryan,
It does.
I'm his first client.
That's true.
Oh,
That's
you
true.
go.
Yours first client?
Yep.
You know
Yep.
something? I know one person, Jenny Burkhardt. Like Jenny.
Yeah, there's a lot of great people over at CLS.
Do you know Maria Miller?
I do. In fact, that's David's ISC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What type of job personnel did you make with CLS?
Oh, well, that was really a difficult thing. Doing the proposal, when I initially thought of this idea for me to pursue, I started thinking to myself, who's going to want to do this? But CLS, they're into self-determination. So I mean, they were how I first heard about microenterprise. They really pushed the microenterprise at CLS. So I developed a little pitch, a PowerPoint presentation, a little spiel that I worked up, and I emailed Annette Downey at CLS and asked her if she was interested. She said yes. She met with me. I showed her my PowerPoint presentation. She really loved it, and she said, I need to see a formal proposal. And I said, okay. I had never done a proposal before, so I worked really hard to go on the internet and really search how to build a proposal, looked at other people's proposals and tried to make mine as professional as possible, and they accepted my proposal based on some conditions that I make sure that all my service time that I bill is all face-to-face, and we went, now we're moving forward. David being number one.
Excellent.
Can you please share details of this 6-month pilot program?
Yeah, I'd love to. The details are found kind of in the daily, or I should say weekly meetings that I have with business owners. We get together weekly to look at their business idea if they are going to start a new business. But in David's case, for example, he already has a business. Dazzle Due Time is already up and running. He has gigs. And so I'm looking at, how is he functioning as a business? What kind of needs does his support group have? Like, what are the strengths and barriers of his team? He has a great ISC, and his direct care staff is Chris, who is awesome. His parents are super supportive, so he has an amazing support team.
How about we bring my support team over here a little bit? I'm a camera.
David wants a support team on the camera. They're saying no, I think.
No way.
Pounding.
They're denying. But I assess what the strengths and the barriers are, and then we build on somebody's abilities and their strengths. We build on the staff and the support staff and the support team and the family's strengths and abilities, and we find ways around the barriers that somebody might have in their business, such as, David might utilize me for improving his website, developing some content for Facebook and Twitter so that he can get in front of more people so that people remember to call Dave, So that's kind of the details of the businesses. Right now, especially during the pilot, it's measurable goals for a certain amount of time so that we can assess whether or not I really can do what I say I can do. That's what a net wants at CLS is,
Oh.
you know,
Yeah.
to prove I can do it.
So if I wanted to start a business where I'm making videos, I'd come and see you.
Yeah, well, right now, because we're in the pilot phase, you know, I couldn't work with you through CLS unless they said, hey, you know, he has definitely got some supported employment hours. And, you know, that could possibly happen. But what I'm hoping for in the future is where I don't have to tell anybody no. I don't have to tell anybody to wait because I'll have an agency, a staff full of people who do what I do, mentoring, training, developing the business. Yeah, I definitely would love to be able to work with you in the future because I hope that the money isn't just coming from Medicaid and public dollars. I want private charity dollars coming in.
Maybe I'll thank Ellen Monroe.
And me.
Hopefully
Yeah.
I'm not down. He's watching.
And that, you're watching that. Watching it, Donnie. This man's amazing.
Yeah, definitely your guys' endorsements help too, for sure.
Thank you.
I'm sure.
You know, so how did you start with all these micro enterprises? All these people have been enterprising themselves. How did you get started in all of this?
Well, when I was in ISC, I had worked with two gentlemen who had some problems getting a job. They couldn't get work that they wanted. I mean, you know, we want to go to work and feel like we're doing something that we enjoy, that's something that we're proud of, and they were having a hard time with that for different reasons. And I realized that this microenterprise thing that I kept hearing from Community Living Service, and they kept showcasing these different business owners who had their own microenterprises, like David and some other gentlemen and some other ladies there. I realized that, man, maybe I could help people with their microenterprises because, you know, as a professional, I need to have community-based experience. Like you asked me earlier about volunteering. I had somebody in the marketing business that looked at my portfolio and my resume and they said, you need to have community involvement if you want to really have a well-rounded professional portfolio and resume. And I said, well, where am I supposed to get, you know, volunteer experience doing design? And then I realized all these micro enterprises need logos. They need branding strategy. They need marketing strategy. So I had that experience. I have the connections. And so I pitched the idea, and now here I am.
What types of partnerships are involving for the micro enterprises?
The partnerships right now that exist are very few. There is a partnership between me and CLS right now, a partnership between me and my clients, but that's about it. Really, the field is very small. It's really just developing. So, you know, it's kind of minimal. But I'm working really hard to make connections with banks and accountants, you know, certified public accountants, lawyers, all the kind of support people a business would need to make sure that you're protected, you know, insurance agents, all these people. Also to come in and maybe have events. Like these are some of the things I want in the future. But, you know, I am developing those networks, and that I hope someday that there is a whole network of corporations and partners who are partnering up with me and the business owners that I'm supporting so that we can move them towards economic independence. I mean, that's a big, you know, factor with people who have disabilities is that they're on a fixed income. Well, I want to create more income opportunity for more people. And there's like a double bonus that happens if all of a sudden I can move someone who's on economic dependence and that's all they get is a fixed income, and then I can move them to independence because now they're making money and they're not just collecting money. So now they're paying in taxes and making a profit. They feel like they're doing something that means something because guess what? If you're doing something you love for a living, you are doing something awesome, right?
Yes.
Isn't that right, David?
Yes.
You are. I'm telling you, you are a very smart man. I'm glad you hired him. I'm glad.
Thank you.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Yes, I do that.
Pounds all around?
Pounds all around, exactly.
Oh, left foot.
Left foot.
You have to explain that to me later.
Okay.
I don't even know that.
So what types of paperwork are required?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot less paperwork than when I was an ISC, when I was a social worker, that's for sure.
A lot less?
A lot less, which is nice.
That's different. Well, that's
But there's a lot of research time and a lot of, interaction. And I mean, I have to make phone calls and I have to, research, ways to, improve my person's business, the person I'm working with's business. So there's a lot of extra time spent that's not spent on paperwork.
We have 2 more questions for by the closing.
All right.
All right. Ask away.
Might your work with micro enterprises become a permanent job, and why?
Well, yes, I definitely believe it will, because I'm very confident that I will meet the goals that we're setting out for sure. And I'm working with some other gentlemen. I think we'll meet their goals. So I think CLS will definitely give me a full-time opportunity to work with the people they support. But even if they didn't, I would still be pushing forward to try to help people, have successful and profitable businesses.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Does your work involve evening and all weekends?
Well, I think that I can speak for anybody that owns their own business. Yeah, it's all the time.
It's an everyday.
Weekends. Yeah, it's every day.
It's an everyday thing.
In fact, my wife just told me she can't believe I turned into a workaholic. But when you're doing what you love to do, you don't feel like you're working. So.
True.
Why the closing, please?
All right. Thank you, David. We have surely enjoyed meeting and learning about you, Mike. Those who are designed to have microenterprises benefit from guidance in making business plans, being successful. Your goal of support of those disabilities having business showing off their self-talent is most wonderful. You need a cheerleader to such as you to encourage them and celebrate success. I'm Ryan Nicholas Gray.
My name is Neil Castle.
I'm DeWitt, and I'm watching ONTV.
I think on
Helen
TV.
Nights, March.
See ya. Bye.